But long story short, they're getting you leads. Maybe those leads are scheduling on an appointment. Maybe they have setters calling them, but they're getting those leads to, book themselves on a calendar. And then all of the follow up and whatnot is going on to you. They're expecting that you call these appointments. They're expecting that you do all the follow up, which leads to frustration. It leads to falling behind and feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you get one or two leads that close, but ultimately this is a complete volume game, and a lot of the stress and the real work falls on the client's shoulders, which leads to unhappy clients who feel like they don't like the system that they got. What you're going to be getting with us is Media Simplified's two-tier nurturing system. With Media Simplified, we're going to run top-tier ads, getting you the best leads possible. Yes, we're going to convert those into appointments using automations, appointment setters, people calling and whatnot. We're already going to take it a step further because we're going to integrate with your main application, whether that's Arrive or Blend or you use one in-house. We're going to be sending people to your main application to get that app started for you ahead of time. And then this is where the magic starts to happen. After they fill out that application, we're going to send them over to your tier 1 caller. So you have an appointment caller who's working your entire account from appointments to leads. They're calling everyone every single day and pretty much cherry picking all of the best, highest intent, hottest leads that you should be calling or spending your energy or time on that day. As your caller is sending over more pre-qualified applicants that they've spoken with, it's going into your cherry pick bin of hot leads. We have a tier 2 setter, which is called the Rover, who's going to be constantly interacting with you, getting feedback on where they're at with their application. Do they need any documents? Do we need to talk with their co-signer? So that not only you, but you and your Rover are constantly keeping track of where your pipeline's at, and you have someone who's helping all of these people get from application to documents to escrow to close. And this constant feedback between you and the Rover on these hot leads is what's going to allow us to close deals constantly, close them consistently, and make sure no one's going stagnant or stale in the pipeline, and that everybody that fills out an application with you eventually gets all the way to the close.
All right, that is our little intro video. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We got, I think, enough people watching across the different platforms, so we'll go ahead and start with it. My name is Nick Friel. I am founder of Media Simplified and the Loan Launch Program. Quick room check to make sure you're in the right place. If you are here watching this, you should be a mortgage broker, a mortgage lender, banker, or loan officer, someone in the mortgage space who is looking to scale. You should not be here if you're someone who is looking for a mortgage or looking for a loan. Maybe someone on the call can help you, but this is for those mortgage professionals that are looking to grow. Now, the plan for this call, in the next 60 minutes, I want to show you how to get more closed deals in the next 30 days without wasting your time or money on terrible leads. I'm going to go over an intro to who we are. I'm going to go over our system first philosophy. I'm going to go over how we go from lead to appointment to application to closed. I'm going to go over some live client accounts, the Rocket Fuel business accelerators, and then I have some free gifts for everybody in attendance along the way that I think you'll find really valuable. If I provide enough value in this call, I would love the opportunity to present some solutions to you guys that may be interested in working with us. So if it's cool with you, give me a 1 in the chat if that sounds fair. Awesome. Awesome. Your participation is greatly appreciated too. It makes me aware if I'm doing a good job or not. So we'll go ahead and roll right into it. So why listen to us? So if I'm going to take advice from anybody, obviously I want to make sure they know what they're talking about. If I'm going to take advice from a stockbroker, I want to make sure they see great return. If I'm going to take fitness advice from somebody, I want to make sure they're in great shape. So if you're going to take marketing advice from us, you obviously need to know that we know what we're talking about. So we have flown across the country working with some of the biggest mortgage producers in the country in office. We've spoken on stage at some of the biggest conferences in the country. We've amassed over 100 plus 5-star reviews across the different trust sites. We have an A+ rating on BBB. We have over 770 some odd YouTube followers, all mortgage professionals that are looking to scale. We've spent tens of thousands, honestly, hundreds of thousands of dollars up to this point on mentorships, consultancies, everything you can name to shortcut not only our learning curve, but your learning curve as well. And we are the longest standing licensing system in the game for mortgage professionals. We have a team of 18 plus members, all right here in West Palm. We have spent well over $1 million of our own money on purchase, refi, investor, every sort of ad type you can imagine. We've worked with over 1,000 loan officers in the last decade. This is a system that really was made for loan officers by loan officers, and it's really the only system of its kind. This is the team that helps bring my system to life, and this is the team that's going to be plugging in as your marketing department if you were to work with us. So you're speaking with me, but often you would hear from our managers, our rovers, our setters, and everybody in between. And this goes to show that we've worked with every square inch of the industry, from the really strict Guild and Fairway mortgages all the way over to the, the Barrett and the Nexas and everything in between. We've been there, done that, and seen great results. All right, and now what you do want versus what you don't want. So correct me if I'm wrong, but great clients of ours, they don't want to waste more money on time and leads that are broken, low quality. They don't want to chase leads around that are impossible to get a hold of, and they don't want to risk their time and money and get nothing from the investment. And what they do want, they want their leads to be qualified for income, credit, and intent. They want to close deals with little to no, crazy change in their day-to-day, and they want their marketing budget to pay for itself quickly and multiple times over. So give me a 1 in the chat if all that seems fair. Awesome. All right, so this is what you're going to get, and this is what you need when licensing any sort of system that's going to work. So these are the raw ingredients that make up a good system. You need a CRM system to house everything. This is going to be your one-stop shop. You need training on how that system works, the parts of it that you need to know and the parts of it that you can ignore. You need lead gen, the lifeblood of everything. We need integration. So we need to make sure that your CRM is connected with your calendar. It's connected with your LOS system. It's connected with the other platforms you use. We need coaching and accountability to make sure that you're doing the little habits that you need to do to absolutely crush it at this. You need setting and live transfers, meaning your marketing engine is constantly running, whether you're focused on sales or not. List reactivation and automation. This is probably why a lot of you are on this call right now, is due to this one, which we'll talk about. Our proprietary playbooks. This is everything outside of the core engine. Realtor referrals, loan officer recruiting, having a dynamic social proof and social media foundation. And then the last and probably the most important ingredient, which might not be as sexy, is the pipeline nurturing and reporting. So that's knowing our numbers, knowing how much it costs to get a close, so we can figure out how much it costs to scale. All right. And one thing I want to be clear on, we are not just another lead generation agency. We believe there's no lead source under the sun that will outperform a bad system. Now, a lot of you might feel like you have a system like this or a lack of system like this where you've tried some things and you've tried some referrals and some paid ads and some email marketing, but nothing ever really seems to land. What we want to do is create a system like this for you, where every single lead source, no matter where it's coming from, is going into one place. We're initiating conversations, qualifying those leads to work with you. You're jumping in, having that one-on-one call that you need. From there, you have assistants working them from interested call all the way to application. Once we get the app and close them, we're turning it into reviews, referrals, testimonials, repeat business, reporting, which ultimately then drives the front end ads and where we're spending our money. So this is the business flywheel we want to help you create, and that's what we're going to be going through in this presentation. So to say it shortly, a focus fool will accomplish more than a distracted genius. I also like that people don't rise to the level of their goals; they fall to the level of their systems. All right, so as you can see right here at the top, the very first step of this is the leads, right? So there's two types of leads when it comes to advertising. You have your interruption-based marketing and your intention-based marketing. Interruption-based marketing here on the left, that's going to be your Facebook, your Instagram, YouTube, all of that stuff where people aren't actually looking for a mortgage broker or pre-approval, but they, come across your ad and they engage. We interrupt them with an ad and they engage. This is great because we can get people early on in the buying process. You can get a high volume and low cost per lead with proper filtering. It can work really well. Some of the downsides, it can attract tire kickers or low end leads. You're also going to need a lot of follow up to stay at top of mind. Then on your intention-based marketing, this is the people who are out searching for a mortgage broker. They're looking up how to get pre-approved. They're on realtor.com looking at houses. They're actually out there searching for these things actively. This is SEO, your Google paid ads, keyword searches. That's where these things come in. Obviously, higher quality lead, lower down the funnel. Some of the downsides being it's obviously a lower volume, higher cost per lead, and you need really fast and efficient follow-up in order to make this work. So here's what that looks like. So with your interruption-based marketing, your social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, usually you're capturing them very early in the process where they're not actively looking. We interrupt them and we capture them early. And then from there, we need to stay at top of mind. We need to keep following up with them as they warm up to the idea that they're actually going to buy a house. So a good system here is going to continue following up, continue nurturing them until they reach that point where they get all the way comfortable with the idea that they're going to get pre-approved and buy a home. Now, around this time, if your system hasn't captured them, they're going to go out and start looking, right? So they get more and more interested. They're talking to family and friends. Hey, I think I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to buy a house. And all of a sudden they decided, you know what, I'm doing this. I'm going to go out and start looking. So they go out and start looking for a pre-approval or, mortgage broker near me, or they start looking at houses usually. And this is where they become an intention-based lead. This is where they're searching on Google or on, realtor.com. And with that sort of lead system, we need something that's going to capture them really quickly. As soon as they opt in, we need to be on the phone with them and getting them, through the pipeline. Because at this point, we are a little late in the game, right? Where they're already out searching. It's very easy to lose a deal like this if you don't take advantage of it and act quickly. So you need a system that's going to get them on the phone quickly. Because if you don't, after a week, 2 weeks, somebody that's doing those sort of searches is usually going to be moving pretty quickly, moving forward with someone else, finding the person they need, and you have that huge drop off in interest. All right. So give me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense and that's useful information. Awesome. All right. And then here's the different lead sources we have. We have different partnerships with some of these premium sources due to the amount of money we've spent over the last decade with them. We get specialized pricing, specialized offers as far as tenureship with them. But sites like USDAloans.com, FHA.com, Realtor.com, rate tables, social media advertising. And we're going to give you a recipe of the best ad spend for you. So we're not just going to give you a cookie cutter ad spend of, here we're doing $1,000 on Facebook or whatever it is. We're going to find the recipes that's going to work best for your budget, your goals, your team, and make sure that every ad dollar that you're spending is going towards the best sources. So we not only make those recommendations, set up those partnerships for you, but we also do all of the heavy lifting and the building out of that. All right, so here's what some average results can look like from a system like this. So if you're doing the leads right, you have a good system in place for anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a month. You can see up to 66 leads. You can see up to 21 appointments, up to 5 to 10 full applications, and between 1 to 3 closes on a monthly basis. All right, so that's how we get the leads. Give me a 1 in the chat if all that is making sense. Awesome. All right, we'll keep it moving. So from the time that they actually become a lead, they come into the system. From there, we need to get them into your CRM. So if you're working with us, we have a custom built, best of the industry, white labeled CRM meant for mortgage brokers called Grow Simple. But if you're trying to do this yourself, we highly recommend a high level or white labeled high level platform. do yourself and hire an expert. Do yourself a favor and hire an expert who knows how to do this for mortgage professionals. Easy way to know if the person you're working with is an expert is if they're offering Go High Level as Go High Level. It's a telltale sign that they're not even paying for the white label services, which are the kind of the point of the system. So cool little snapshot here. Our relationship number is number 499. I think there's 150,000 or some odd users now, but we've been around since fruition. We have an incredible snapshot built out. That's going to be a gift that I have for you. And I'll cover all of the gifts here in a second. So we're getting you the best quality leads. You're putting it into the best technology. From there, we want to have the best qualifying calls, right? So we're getting people to raise their hand, and from there, we're actually going to call those people. So now we need to have really good calls. To have world-class calls, there's a couple of things you need, 3 ingredients. First, you need a world-class script. Okay. And this doesn't need to be some lengthy thing making you sound like a robot. It needs to be kind of built in and smooth, but it needs to be kind of laid out in a way where it hits all of these other points. So we need a world-class script. You need to master the first 2 minutes of tonality. So oftentimes when you're making these calls, people are skeptical. They're not sure. So if you can master the tonality over the first 2 minutes of making sure they know, who this is, who's calling, pushing back over any friction. Hey, I'm busy right now, and get past that first 2 minutes. 90% of the work is done. Then number 3 little hack that we always recommend our clients is to get them. When you're talking with someone, make sure you get their eyeballs on your application before you get off the phone with them. So they should actually be looking at your application link before you hang up. The likelihood that they're going to complete that goes through the roof. And my little gift to you for being here today, I'm going to share our scripts with you. These are the same scripts that our setters use, and they're our gift for you just for attending today. All right, so talked about how to get the best leads, how to get the best CRM system, how to initiate the conversations using a world-class script. We actually hire our setters for our clients based on a couple of different things. These are not just setters. These are all people trained right here in the US of A, based right here in West Palm Beach. They're getting you live transfers, appointments, setting up and organizing your CRM, and really acting on your behalf. And I can tell you until I'm blue in the face how great they are, but honestly, I'd rather just show you.
Yes, hello.
Hi, Peter. This is Carol with Rockport Capital. How are you?
I'm fine, my dear. I'm fine. I like capital.
Awesome. Hey, I was just reaching out. You had on Facebook requested some more information about a DSCR loan, an investment loan.
Yes, I did. Tell me what your company does.
Okay, so I'm actually the assistant for our mortgage broker, Kyle. But so basically for a DSCR loan, that's going to be an investment type loan. So do you own your current home? You have a primary residence?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I do.
So that is one of the prerequisites for a DSCR loan is going to be mortgage history. And then also, will this be your first investment property purchase?
No.
So typically for experienced investors, the down payment on a loan like this would be between 15 and 20%. Is that something that would be feasible?
Yes, yes. Now, what do you mean by BCR?
DSCR? Yes, it's debt service coverage ratio. So this kind of loan program actually, instead of using your own personal income or tax returns, you would be able to qualify for a loan like this based upon the rental amount that you receive on that home. So as long as the rental amount is 1.5 times the amount.
All right, so we don't have to listen to the whole thing, but you get the gist. We put really good people on the phone with your clients to make sure that you look like a professional. So we're getting you the best leads. We're putting them into the best technology. We're getting world-class scripts to have the best calls up front, qualifying them. And then we want to take it a step further, right? We don't just want to have really good calls. We want to get applications in the pipeline. So we integrate with your LOS system to make sure there's a kind of seamless process to get them from your CRM, get that app started, get them in the LOS, and make sure your LOS notifies your CRM when they cross that line in the sand. And no longer are they just an interested prospect, but they're actually an application in your portal. That's going to give us the tracking and reporting we need. That's going to give us all the insights we need. It's also going to make it so that you don't have to constantly update your notes. and will really keep your accounts up to date. All right, so here's some examples of what that could look like. So this is a client, Frank, that did this with us and had roughly 220 leads generated after month 3, which we don't really care about. What we care about is the contact rate, which was about 40%. We got a hold of 90 people, took 26 full applications, and closed 6 of those deals. So he makes at least 4K. We used the smallest number for his entire, to average out. And it was just with the smallest numbers, it was $24,000 in the bag. And all he had to do was catch some alley-oop dunks that we set up for him. All right, so a quick look at some live accounts to show you kind of how we do this in motion. And actually, I'm streaming on YouTube, so I'm going to skip the live accounts so we don't get any issues there. All right, so we're almost done. We've talked about who we are. We've talked about our philosophy. We've talked about the life cycle of the leads. We're going to go over the Rocket Fuel business accelerators and the pricing breakdown as well. All right, so the business accelerators, these are going to be everything outside of that core engine to help you grow. So one thing people get wrong about social media and reviews and all these things is that social media posts are not going to be necessarily getting you business. Unless you're an influencer or someone with a massive following already, a post is not going to be moving the needle a lot for you. What's going to be moving the needle is when you start doing paid advertising, you start doing marketing. A lead's going to come in. They're going to come into your orbit. Maybe they, book a call with you or converse with you a little bit. But a lot of times, eventually, they're going to go do research on you. They're going to go look you up online. And if you do not have any online presence, you have a lower likelihood of them choosing you. And if they go online and find you and you have a website and social media and Google reviews, you have a higher likelihood of them choosing you. So this is really what social media and having these things is about. It's about kind of wrapping the entire package and making sure that when someone does go to look you up online, they find all of the assets and everything they need to make you look like the authority that you are. All right, so we have the Loan Launch Playbooks, which is another free gift I'm going to be giving to everybody in attendance. This will go over how to do all of these things I just mentioned, get more social reviews, get more social media posts going, get everything tied together so that you can do this once and you look like an absolute all-star online. And then I mentioned this earlier, but the reactivations. So some of you watching might be watching this because of reactivations we did. And what that means is every lead that's ever come into your orbit should be getting contacted by you every so often. All right. And a lot of people will buy leads or they'll do some marketing and then, get some leads and kind of just push them to the side, let them sit in an email. Well, here's an example of a client that was doing that. They came in with 1,900 aged leads, anywhere between 3 months and 2 years old. From there, we had 153 interested conversations after doing reactivations. This is in 1 week. We had 62 calls initiated that lasted longer than 2 minutes. We had 47 appointments set for the team and 11 full applications in 1 week of going through leads that they were doing nothing with. So we want to make you sick to your stomach with how much business and money you are probably wasting by not having a system like this in place. All right, we have some testimonials which are available on our site if you ever want to check them out. We'll make you sit through them now, but we have hours and hours of testimonials. I also have a custom Loan Launch GPT as the free gift I mentioned. So not just a nonsense ebook or PDF. I spent a lot of time on this, and it's going to be my gift to you. And you can either click the link I'm going to drop in the Zoom chat or scan the QR code below. But if you were in attendance, you're going to get access to all of these gifts that I've gone over. What you're going to do is come to the link that I drop in the chat. You go ahead and type in code LAUNCH and unlock your gifts. And you will get access to everything that we have mentioned. The high-level snapshot, the world-class script, our loan launch courses, our loan launch GPT. Our only ask of you is that you fill out this survey and let us know what you found helpful, what you found insightful, what you did or did not like, and that would be all we request. All right. And if there's anybody that is interested in working with us, we're going to go ahead and follow up with you after this call and get some more information. And yeah, beyond that, we're looking forward to partnering up. Hopefully you found some massive value on this call, and I look forward to chatting with you all soon. All right, guys. Thanks for your time.